The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm on a sport yacht from Riviera, the 6000 SY. It's a 3-stateroom, 3-head layout. Let's take a look as I do a full features inspection and a sea trial. Swim platform lowers to form a private beach. Of course, this can also be used to launch a tender or PWC. There's a tender garage measuring 10.5 feet, and there's a winch to pull the tender in. And we can access the tender from the cockpit deck, so we can throw things right into the boat before launching it. There's access to the cockpit from both port and starboard, and here we have an excellent entertainment venue. Features here start with a double-wide electric grill, sink with hot and cold running water, storage, and a refrigerated drawer. There's an optional shade extension at the aft end of the overhead. Riviera tells me that they're going to make it standard because everyone orders it. Just ahead, we've got an opening sunroof, and the table will lower hydraulically. A filler cushion will make it into a sun pad. Side decks to both sides that are, in my opinion, an unprecedented 21 inches wide. 31-inch rail height increases as we move forward to 37 inches. There's a flush-mounted Muir windlass leading to a stainless steel anchor rod running through the stem. To port, we have a fresh and saltwater washdown along with the windlass remote control, and to starboard, we have access to the all-chain rod. 13-inch cleats are located throughout, and notice all the cleats and the windlass have load limits clearly marked. And here we have what, in my opinion, is the largest bow sun pad that I've seen, measuring 8 feet 8 inches by 5 feet 10 inches, and each individual one can be lifted up into a chaise lounge. There's certainly no shortage of bow storage. The galley is located on the main deck, directly in between two entertainment venues. Its U-shaped configuration allows for easy entrance and egress. There are refrigerated drawers both forward and aft. Plus we have a dishwasher drawer. Here's a clever use of space. A small pull-out pantry. And to the opposite side, we have two more refrigerated drawers, a serving area, all adjacent to the ship's entertainment center. And of course, serving and communication are made even easier by opening up this glass panel. Just ahead of the galley, a U-shaped settee seats 6 and surrounds a beautifully finished pedestal table, and it's directly across from a triple-wide sofa, making for an intimate conversational atmosphere. This sofa easily converts into another entertainment venue with a table that flips out from under this seat. The center seat that was here then becomes an ottoman with storage underneath. There's also an option for this table to be mounted to a hydraulic pedestal so that it can be lowered to form another berth. There's a skylight over the galley, and this combined with the sunroof over the main salon provide plenty of natural light on the main deck. Now, of course, this has a screen that can be pulled across. Both have blackout shades for when you're turning the main deck into another sleeping area. So not only do we have a single-level main deck going from the cockpit all the way forward, but the open and airy atmosphere along with the extraordinary visibility, to me, really blurs the line between the inside and the outside. The Helm is elegant in a minimalist sort of a way. There are two 20-inch flat-screen displays from Garmin, soft tones, hand-stitched leather, switches all the way across the top that are lighted when activated. The steering wheel is mounted to a tilt base, the digital engine controls, the wipers and washers, the IPS joystick, and controller for the two flat-screen displays. Opening side windows add to the ventilation, as does the opening sunroof. Two individual seats, one for the captain, one for the observer. Both have flip-down armrests, flip-up bolster. They're electrically adjustable fore and aft, but not for height, and I don't find that you need that adjustment. Reason being that there is such excellent visibility from both the seated and standing positions, not only from the forward windshields, but out the sides as well. Massive two-piece front windshield, each section measures 6 feet across by 4 feet 6 inches.
Let's take a look below decks, starting with the forward VIP.
Well, the forward VIP stateroom certainly has a feeling of openness. There's a berth measuring 6 feet 10 inches by 5 feet 3 inches, 6 feet 3 inches of headroom. Now over to the side, I noticed that Riviera went without putting storage above and instead gave more of a feeling of openness by having this area slanted out along to the hull side with hull side windows. But there's still plenty of storage in the stateroom, both to the sides and the front bulkhead and underneath.
It's very hard not to be impressed with the impeccable fit and finish. Just look at this clever headboard with sort of a parquet pattern finished in high gloss.
Like the other lights that we've seen throughout the yacht, these are all on dimmers and they're LED lights. We have up lights and down lights, so these also serve as reading lights while you're in this forward berth. But since they're going to be reading lights, it'd be a good idea to move the switch from this position down to a lower position so that you can still utilize it from the reclined position. Now this stateroom also has a private head. Now to starboard, we have a day head plus a guest stateroom.
The amazing level of fit and finish continues here and really makes this beautiful yacht such a standout. Again, we see the classy headboard design, and Riviera also did a great job with the indirect lighting.
There's storage both to the sides and overhead. We have a hullside window, and Riviera went with 2 single berths. There's no option for creating 1 large berth. And we also have private access to the day head. So now we've saved the best for last, the full beam master stateroom located aft. We've got hullside windows to both sides, including opening port lights. There's a settee to starboard, and to the port hand side, there's booth seating. There are sensors to alert the helm when the hullside windows are open. There's beautiful functionality in this stateroom, an excellent fit and finish, but a couple of things I would change. To both sides of the starboard hullside window, there are these recessed areas that just have wiring access behind. I would also give access to some storage. The table has a hinged section that opens up for storage. I would add a mirror underneath here and turn it into a vanity, and I am being told that this will be done on future 6000 SYs. In the master stateroom, quality materials continue with leather on both sides of the high gloss walnut. We also have leather on the side bulkheads and seat, plus the overhead. The forward bulkhead is padded material, ultra leather to both sides of the parquet headboard. Again in the master stateroom, the excellent fit and finish shows through. Perfect joinery work, exacting detail. Now, I'm obsessive compulsive, so this kind of attention to detail really sticks out with me, but it's not something that you can appreciate until you're really on board the boat and see the pride that Riviera puts into the construction. There are storage drawers completely surrounding the berth, plus we have storage to the side. In addition, a walk-in closet. Naturally, this stateroom has a private head, and I'd like to see another latching system on the door. There's an optional configuration that will move the head aft into this booth seating area, and that will create a separate lounge forward. Now with this configuration, you still have the benefit of having hullside windows to both sides, or at the push of a button, you can go with privacy. In the center of the lower deck foyer area, there's a stacked washer dryer. And I can't help but notice that all of the doors just closed without slamming, and this is a boat with over 100 hours on it already. Behind the master stateroom, there's access to a lazarette which could be made into crew quarters, and this also has access to the engine room.
So now let's get her underway and see how she does. For maximum visibility, we decided to depart using the cockpit joystick control. Now this is a standard feature to either side. Both sides would be an option. The 735 horsepower IPS 950s brought us to a top speed of 31.1 knots, and that was accompanied by a fuel burn of 72.5 gallons per hour. That meant a range of 336.5 nautical miles. Best economy will come in at 1750 RPM and 16.9 knots, where the fuel burn drops to 31 gallons per hour. But thanks to the efficiency of the hull and its match to the pod drives, there's so little difference in the miles per gallon once we're on plane that this is a boat that you really set the speed according to the prevailing conditions on, not so much with a concern for fuel burn. But what really strikes us on this boat is her drop-dead good looks. She's got classic lines of the thicker overhead and that muscular look as it meets the windshield, all of which have come to define the brand. But as good-looking as she is, more so is she good handling. She'll come up on plane in about 7.5 seconds, not a rocket ship, but what is surprising is that she stays on a nearly level attitude while accelerating. And once on top, she still maintains a roughly level attitude. She'll also stay on plane at a much lower speed, like around 11 knots, before she falls off. I'd love to see her out of the water to see how Riviera is doing this, but that wasn't an option on test day. The bottom line, so to speak, is that everyone can see perfectly well at cruise and the bow isn't blocking anyone's view. At cruise, it seems like the world slows down. The waves take on a slower effect, the pace is steady, the attitude is rock solid. As hooked as I was on the comfort of the interior, it's duplicated now. It really puts this boat in a class by itself. She's quite maneuverable, but with any pod-driven boat, the turns are slow and sedate, and that's how your guests will appreciate them. No one wants to feel like they're in a washing machine when they're in a luxury yacht. This is all about the comfort. And of course, coming back into the dock is also a breeze thanks to the joystick maneuverability. In an attempt to find a downside to this yacht, we tried both a side tube docking and a stern tube, but she handled both with a delicate precision, as expected. Great yacht to drive.
After spending time on this boat, it seems I just need to make a personal note about the comfort level that I'm experiencing. The wide side decks, the height of the seats, the open air, it all speaks of a comfort level that really doesn't come across on video. You have to be aboard to experience it. And that's my full test and features walkthrough of the 6000 SY from Riviera. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.